and welcome, Star Wars fans, to a new podcast, Duel of the Ranks, a show where we debate takes so hot that they would melt a planet with twin suns. My name is Brody, and I'll be hosting this show with my co-hosts Amanda and Christian as we attempt to discover what story is truly the best from a galaxy far, far away. Christian, Amanda, we're doing it. We're starting a podcast. We love Star Wars. We can never agree on what the best movies are, the best shows are. So we finally decided, let's just record these conversations.
Yeah, no, we are severely lacking an official place to rank and review all Star Wars content because there's so many places you could be like, what's the best Star Wars movie?
So many different factions.
Yeah, but we're going to become the number one place in the galaxy for Star Wars rankings.
Think of IMDb for the galaxy. We're going to put the numbers to Star Wars where the Force meets the facts.
Oof.
Okay, but how do we keep it, like, reined in? How do we keep it all, like, are we following a table or a structure? Do you want to talk about that?
I think we should.
What is our metric?
I think we have to. Well, we're going off of a few different things. We're not just saying, like Wrecker would say, I like that, giving it a 5 out of 5. No. There is a legitimate structure to how we break every single piece of content down for each episode. The first thing we grade is the story. The second part are the characters, then the technical aspects, the music, and finally, the immersive universe. Each one of these attributes can receive a total of 5 points by each host, totaling to 25 points each. So again, 75 points in total. When we're looking at the story, we're asking ourselves, did it move you in some way? Was it a quality story? Was it ever kind of awkward? Same thing with the characters. You go into that area, say, were you emotionally bought in to what they were doing? Was the acting great? Were the lines and the dialogue great? Or was it cringy? Did you love that Anakin hates sand, or did you hate that Anakin hates sand? You break all of that down. Then we go into the technical aspects. Some things like, did you like that Attack of the Clones was entirely CGI? Mm-hmm. Or did you prefer some of the practical effects like they had in the original trilogy?
Do you like CGI Yoda or do you like puppet Yoda?
That was the cinematography for its time.
The choreography, the Jedi skills.
Do you like the raw?
The cinematography.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then with the music, was John Williams producing it?
Did John Williams do a good job this time?
Yeah.
Was he composing? Yeah, okay. And then versus everybody else. And then lastly, we do have the immersive universe. Are you capitalizing on what's been done before? Are you expanding upon lore? Or are you enacting a holdo maneuver and crippling everything?
Or connecting new pieces to different stories. Yeah.
Is it pushing the lore and the fandom? Are we learning more about the Force? Are we contradicting things within Star Wars? Like, is this a good
Do we have more questions in a good way or more questions in a bad way?
Yep. Yes, absolutely. So then we take all of those points, so whatever that allotment comes to, divide that by the total number for that score. It's been 70, the total number of possible points, I should say, at 75 points. And there's your score. There's your percentage. So looking at what we think going in, I feel like I think there's going to be some pretty hot debates here in this show. Like,
there better be.
My favorite Star Wars film is The Last Jedi, and I have the tattoo to prove it.
That's a hot take in and of itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, that going into that's going to be another one of the things we do on the show. We're going to go into hot takes. We've got trivia time. So if you have any of your own hot takes and you listen to our show and you want to share them, go to our website, duelranks.com, where you can submit your own hot takes, as we will be also putting those on the show. If you have trivia questions you want to submit, we'll have that on as well. And if you'd like to be a guest, occasionally we'll be bringing those on as well. So we'll have a form on our website where we'll be able to submit your info if you want to come on and just debate with us. That's where you're going to be able to do just that.
You can definitely interact with us, like especially with our Twitter accounts, our Instagram. Yeah. Like, we're on social media. You can interact with us, and we love getting into the debates of things. I think we're getting really good about debating respectfully, but also like we're going to make you think about Star Wars.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this podcast special is that we are not here to alienate or hate on Star Wars. We came together because we love this and we want to have fun with it. And we're not here to talk about everything we hate, but we might hate some things.
We might hate some things. And that's okay, Star Wars community. That's okay.
It's okay.
Speaking of things we hate, let's talk about things we love for a second.
Okay.
Amanda, you said The Last Jedi is your favorite Star Wars
It's my whole
movie.
personality almost.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got the sacred Jedi text burning on my leg as a nod.
If you're not on our YouTube channel, you
hardcore.
didn't see that tat, you're going to have to go.
It's cool.
Pretty
Yeah.
hardcore.
Yeah.
I call myself a fan if I wear a t-shirt, you know.
So why is it your favorite movie? I think you said it's like your go-to.
It is my
feel-good
chicken soup Star Wars movie. Like when I'm sick and I just need something on to make me feel good, that's the movie that I go to. I've seen it more times than any of the other ones. I think it's because it subverted my expectations so much. And, maybe you'll have to listen to the episode when we get into it, but it's also the horniest Star Wars film. So
Whoa.
She said it, people.
She came out
put it out there.
swinging. Well, we're not here to debate anything today, so that take is what your take is.
Remember it, people.
I remember it. I mean, wow. Okay, Christian, why is your favorite movie your favorite movie?
Oh my goodness.
Actually, what is your favorite movie? I just remembered. I know it, but our audience doesn't know it.
It's like
What's your favorite movie and why?
So I have to say, I'm breaking the rules. My top two are Empire and Revenge of the Sith.
nice.
Empire is usually edging it out at the top most of the time. Some days I'm like, freaking Revenge of the Sith is my favorite,
Yeah.
But I'll talk about Empire. Empire is kind of like what you were saying. It's a good comfort movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have very fond memories of watching that one as a kid on VHS. It was like, it was just one of those where I remember if it was rainy or snowy outside or whatnot, and it was like, I don't want to be outside as a kid as much today, I'm going to watch Empire. And I have those lines memorized. I freaking love Han and the Tauntaun and freaking, it's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a fun one.
What about you, Brody?
All right. I am ashamed to say my favorite Star Wars movie because I understand why it's not a great movie overall.
Don't be ashamed.
Don't be ashamed.
Just
wear it on your
boldly
chest.
go.
It's The Force Awakens.
Okay, maybe we
Okay.
should rethink our host.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
I know it's not a great movie. And I know it basically copied everything about A New Hope.
Not everything.
I mean, it's pretty line for
I'm
line.
defending you, man. Let me defend you. Jeez.
What I love, I think it did a lot of things that A New Hope did, but better for me. The sacrifice when you have someone like Obi-Wan. All right, whereas there's just some guy we just met from the desert. I guess he sacrificed himself, whatever. Han Solo's sacrifice, for me, the greatest sacrifice we've seen in Star Wars to date.
That's a hot take.
It was heavy. And it was hard. You knew it was happening when you walked out on that bridge, but it was heavy. Rey, for me, was a way more endearing character than Luke Skywalker when we first meet those two.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Hot take, Luke is one of my least favorite characters.
Oh,
community.
We've lost a
What are you
lot
gonna
of
do?
listeners.
They're
right
mad
in
at the
this-
girl now.
Oh.
She shouldn't be talking Star Wars.
I'm telling you. Yeah, so for me, there's just a lot of things that movie does better. I love John Williams' theme for Rey.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
That one
great-
goes hard.
That's a good one.
And-
I can't wait till we rank that movie.
Yeah.
And the speech that you have from General Hux, that little space Nazi.
Yeah, I was motivated.
Motivated. That's scary. Okay. Anyway, now that we know you don't believe in droid rights, and
We'll get to that.
that's a whole other thing, man. I'm kind of scared to have you on the show.
Oh my goodness.
Well, anyway, yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Well, going back to things we hate, Amanda, what's your least favorite Star Wars movie?
It's The Phantom Menace. Ooh, sorry.
That's such a basic thing to hate,
There's a
Amanda.
reason why it's called The Machete Order, and it's because you can just chop that movie right out of it.
Whoa. All right.
I guess she said it.
I thought Qui-Gon, you can chop a lot of things, but you can still rework a lot of the stories. Like, you can cut Maul's legs off, but that's not going to stop him from coming back being a great character in Clone Wars. And if we don't have the Phantom Menace, and you want to chop that out, you don't get the Clone Wars. You don't get Maul in the Clone Wars. You don't get the best villain in the Clone Wars.
You don't get Liam Neeson with a ponytail.
I'm just saying.
All right. Well, that is what that is. We'll get back to that on the Phantom Menace episode, I guess. Christian, what about you?
So there's nothing I hate. My least favorite is the Rise of Skywalker. And I mean, time and time again on this show, it's not like we hate a bunch of things. There are things that we like the least. But the Rise of Skywalker, I can't wait till we rank that film. But there are just so many things with the sequel trilogy. It's like, I've talked about this before. Force Awakens was like the love letter to Star Wars. Last Jedi. To me, it was kind of like the departure, like the hate letter to Star Wars.
Yeah.
But like, I have good things to say about that movie. And then Rise of Skywalker was like the apology letter. Because they were like, oh, we didn't know what we were doing. And we're here to literally pick up the pieces because we're going to refuse the lightsaber. We're going to re-weld Kylo's helmet. And it was just... Rise of Skywalker was a clear indication of, oh man, they did not plan that out. And it was sad because it was like, it's a Star Wars trilogy.
You know there's 3 of them.
Yeah, you should plan this out a little better. Now, there's not to say that I don't like, there are some things I really like about that movie. Mm-hmm. But if I had to put one at my least favorite, Rise of Skywalker earned that spot.
Yeah. What about you, Brody?
Solo.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's kind of forgettable.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just weird. It's honestly, I enjoy watching it if I don't think of that character as Han Solo and Harrison Ford. That kind of throws me off a little bit. But the story itself, it isn't terrible.
No.
I enjoy all Star Wars. It's just not great.
I love Solo. And I think it is the most underrated movie.
Ooh,
wow.
Hot take. I wonder what our listeners are going to think about that.
Well, it's a diverse set of hosts, that's for sure. Man, I don't know. I mean, you look at it, you watch things like Solo, and it's a fun ride. And, thinking back to Star Wars in of itself is just fun. I think back to growing up, playing all the Star Wars video games, and looking at, like, for me, playing Battlefront 2. Like, that was Star Wars for me, more so than even the movies. Like, you had, I loved playing Star Wars Episode 3. I loved playing Republic Commando. And there's a lot of cool nods we're seeing to those video games. Like, Bad Batch has a moment where they have a nod to it. And we're seeing more and more of those video games come up in the shows now. Yeah. Did you both grow up playing the Star Wars video games as well? If so, do you have any favorites?
I played Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, on Game Boy. And I played, like, the Star Wars Legos when they were first coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved the Star Wars Lego games. And I had the pod racing game, Pod Racer, on N64, and Battle for Naboo on N64. Those are just fun games. And then Bounty Hunter, Gamecube.
That was a great game.
Legendary.
I played on a GameCube as well.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, one day I played it on a GameCube. I had a little memory card, and I really, really pissed my brother off one day. And he went in and he deleted that game off of my memory card. And I had a like master level or the most difficult level and like beaten. And yeah, that was like, I don't think I picked it up after that. I think I finished playing it again. Like they did like PlayStation, like they had a thing where you were able to play a lot of the old games, and I finally did the playthrough. But as a kid, it was just too hard. I was like, all right, I give up. It was a tough moment. What about you, Amanda? Did you ever play any Star Wars video games?
I'm a relatively new Star Wars video game player. So I played Battlefront 2 and I played Jedi Fallen Order just recently. Loved that. And
Fallen Order is awesome.
Yes. And I'm currently playing Lego Skywalker Saga with my fiance. It's a fun couch co-op game.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be some great time to just get to know the man you're going to marry.
See, especially in those like kind of open world games, how they just respond and do things. Like
I like to go around and like just break things and collect all the coins, and he's like, okay, come on, let's do the story. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that shows a lot about the person.
I'm that type of person. I'm you in that.
I'm Jake.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like-
like, let's go. We can do this in free play.
I know. I'll play like Skyrim, and I'm like, all right, let's just get the main quest done. And there's people that are like, there's a main quest? I've just done side quests for 3 years now. Well, speaking of side quests, I feel like that's kind of where Star Wars is going. There's so much content out there. There's so many. Oh, we introduced this character one time. They're going to get their own arc.
Yeah.
Like Andor.
You got a show.
You get a show. You get a show. So there's a lot we're going to have to talk about as time goes on. What I want to know, what is the one thing you're looking forward to ranking the most on this podcast?
Mine is Star Wars Rebels. I am a Rebels fan through and through. I think Rebels is top tier Star Wars storytelling. And I think Star Wars is at its best when it's animated. So
Nice.
I'll take that to the grave.
Nice. I really do love the movies, and I'm really looking forward to those movies, ranking the movies, putting them on there. And then at this time, we're really anticipating Obi-Wan. I'm so pumped to rank Obi-Wan.
Yeah. No, that's fun. For me, it's just to see how the Clone Wars stacks up against the movies. And for those of you that are listening to say, well, how are you going to rank like the Clone Wars against a movie? What we're doing is we're going season by season. So you have the first season of Clone Wars. We'll take all of the rankings from each individual episode, compile that, and do the whole ranking for the season and compare that to the movie. Because it's hard to do just the individual arcs, the individual episodes against it. But, you know, I feel like the season does tell a pretty holistic story, comparable to a movie, a little bit more long form, but a lot of times with Star Wars, basically the same type of arc, with just more details peppered in there.
Like our listeners, they're going to... I would definitely recommend frequenting the website to see all the numbers on the page, to see like where we're putting it. You can see how the show or the episode relates to all the movies.
And all the other shows too.
Yep. And it's going to be really cool to just see all of it and, I don't know, pick out the number next to it. Like, why is that so low? Why is that so high? And you'll have a whole discussion backed by that one piece of content. And there is a reason why we chose this metric that we chose. I mean, people typically rank things on a 5-star rating. We're each going to get that broken down into these 5 categories that we think they really matter to film, but also they really matter to Star Wars. That's why we specifically created that category, Immersive Universe.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be cool, where we have something special with these rankings, and these numbers mean something.
Yeah.
And there are going to be some things that it's not like, oh, we need to put this show or movie higher than others or whatnot. It's like, no, we're actually going to try to, as much as we can, objectively look something, and we'll put a number on it, and we'll see, oh, wow, it actually ranks here. This may be my favorite personally, but it actually ranks lower than, looking at it with a critical eye. It's going to be really interesting.
It is going to be really, really interesting. And you mentioned the website. For anyone who wants to check out the stuff we're doing, go to dueloftheranks.com. We're going to be able to see our rankings, our blog, our store, a whole bunch of fun stuff there. You're going to be able to submit your own rankings. If you want to, as I said, want to be a guest, that's the place to do it. That's the hub for all things Duel of the Ranks. Other than that, check out our Twitter. Maybe one day we'll get a little bit more plugged into TikTok as time goes on too. We'll see. The show's always growing. It's a whole lot of fun. Amanda, Christian, thank you so much for doing this show with me.
Yeah.
So excited. And thank you, listeners, for jumping on this journey with us. Love to hear from you. And we look forward to seeing you on our first review episode next week as we discuss Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, a.k.a. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
See you then.
Yeah.